My cousin told me, that's just my therapist. 20 minutes later, I watched the therapist grab her. I pulled up to my uncle's house, already calculating how much of the Cowboys-Eagles game I'd miss. I barely had one foot through the door when my uncle appeared. He shoved a wad of bills into my hand, then shoved my cousin at me like luggage. Your dad burned the ribs. You two, get ribs, chips, whatever. Every year, my uncle and our neighbor compete for best ribs. Loser mows the winner's lawn all summer. My uncle's lost 3 years straight. But the game, I started. My uncle shot me a look that said move, and I ran. The drive was 7 minutes. My cousin talked for 8.5. She told me about her friend who was literally so fake, and some boy named Jalen who liked her but also didn't. By minute 3, I'd mentally written my will and left her nothing. We pulled into the store's parking lot and it was chaos, of course. When we got inside, I grabbed a cart, turned around, and my cousin was gone. I decided she'd find me, so I went and grabbed ribs, chips, coleslaw, and hot dogs. I was comparing baked beans when I spotted my cousin by the pharmacy, talking to some guy, mid-20s, button-up shirt, very intense eye contact with my 14-year-old cousin. My brain did the math. I didn't think. I walked fast and rammed my cart into the back of his heel. He yelped, spun around, and looked at me like I was dirt on his shoe. Can I help you, buddy? I grabbed my cousin's arm. We gotta go. I pulled her toward the registers while he hopped behind us. Guess he bruised something. I smiled, but then my cousin yanked her arm away. What is wrong with you? That's just my therapist. I stopped. You're what? She crossed her arms. My therapist. I see him every Tuesday. Guilt hit my stomach like bad sushi. I just assaulted a mental health professional with a shopping cart. Oh, she rolled her eyes. You're so embarrassing. She stormed toward checkout. I paid while she stood by the door texting. I didn't want to get in trouble with her dad, so I did everything myself. When we walked outside, she said, hold up, I forgot something, then disappeared back into the store. I loaded the bags and leaned against my car. 5 minutes turned into 10. That's when I saw them. My cousin and her therapist were by a red sedan 4 rows over. They were talking and smiling. His hand was on her lower back. Then it slid down and grabbed her ass. I didn't hesitate. Pocketed my keys, jogged across the lot, and punched the therapist right in the jaw. He went down, but he got back up swinging. I ducked. We hit the asphalt, and I got 2 more in before someone pulled us apart. By the time cops arrived, I had a split lip, and he had a bloody nose. I turned to my cousin. Call your dad. She crossed her arms. No way. I glared at her. Girl, I'm getting arrested. Call him, she called. My uncle and my dad pulled up 12 minutes later, tires screeching. My uncle jumped out before the truck stopped. What the hell is going on? The cop held up his hands. Sir, we're sorting this. My uncle looked at me. Little man, what happened? I nodded to the therapist. That guy, her therapist, grabbed her ass, so I decked him. My uncle's face got scary. Who grabbed my daughter's ass? His voice echoed across the lot. The therapist went pale. My cousin's face fell. He's not my therapist. My uncle stepped forward. What? He's my boyfriend. I told him to meet me here. I told my cousin he was my therapist so he wouldn't snitch. My uncle blinked. My cousin had maybe 30 seconds before she was grounded for life. She talked faster. I didn't think he'd go psycho and punch him. My uncle turned to the guy. You're dating my 14-year-old daughter? He held up his hands. Sir, she told me she was 18. That was as far as he got. My uncle lunged. The cop stepped between them before my uncle could add assault charges. I watched him get restrained while my cousin cried. 3 hours later, we were all leaving the police station, and my uncle caught my arm. He pulled out another wad of bills, bigger than the first, and shoved it in my hand. Good looking out for your cousin. By the time we got home, the Cowboys had lost, and my dad had burned the ribs I had bought.